Two very simple questions. The UX field has been evolving quite a lot lately. What are the biggest changes happening right now in the UX world?
The biggest changes in the UX world. One, that people are recruiting so actively and paying people a lot of money, which I didn't realize until UX London last year. I didn't realize people were in such demand. And two, that, and this has been happening for years, obviously, which is why it became UXPA instead of UPA, is that it's a very broad, to say somebody's in UX is a very broad field. It covers like a lot of professions, and we all know that the people who are hiring for these jobs don't necessarily mean what they think they mean. They want a UX person. Well, do you want a UX designer or do you want a UX researcher, or do you want one of the 15 subspecialties? Do you even know what you need?
What's the next big thing you think in the UX world?
In the UX world, I don't know. I love my watch.
Okay.
And I think it's not like we're going to have a new form factor every 2 years, but I think the watch is a significant form factor.
Okay.
So we went from screens that were exactly this big, 640 by whatever, to screens that were exactly this big, and then we stuck with the screens that were 1024 or whatever it was, I don't even remember now, for like 15 years. And then we started adding on second additional monitors, but we're basically sticking with that one size, and that was it, one size fits all. And then all of a sudden we've got phones, we've got tiny screens that we want to do a lot of the same things on.
Okay.
And that was a huge deal. And I think it's sort of thrown, I don't think it's stabilized at all. Yeah, personally, I'm like really biased about it. I just don't think it's stabilized at all. I look at the web on my phone and I'm like deeply disturbed. I do not like what I see at all. I don't think the information architecture works well. I don't think, all kinds of things don't work well. Anyway, because we haven't figured it out yet. It hasn't really been going on long enough. But I think that we've got another form factor. We've got tiny screens. So we had pretty big screen, small screen, and tiny screen. Forget about the tablet, because the tablet's exactly the same as the big screen, in a sense. It's like anything you want to do on a desktop, you can pretty much do on a tablet. You can fit it in. So we've got big, small, and tiny. And I think it'll take us another 5 years to figure out how to really design well for small and tiny. And maybe by that point, people, we might, I don't know, we're going to have unfolding phones. So there isn't a tiny, there's just a tablet that fits in your pocket. If you're coming into a field and you want advice about how to get into it, don't ask somebody who's been in it for a long time. Ask somebody who's been in it for like 4 or 5 years. Because anybody who's been in it for a long time, their advice is completely out of date. And I think that's absolutely true.